This is Smiles TV. Welcome to Smiles TV. I'm Stephanie Anthony Miles, and we're in East St. Louis, Illinois, at School District 189, the Board Building on State Street, right here in East St. Louis. And we'll be talking with Sidney Kaufman, the Director of Strategic Partnerships. We're going to share some great things that are occurring within our school district. You don't want to miss this show. Remember, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was crucified and buried, and he rose on the third day. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and thou shalt be saved. Stay tuned for more smiles.
Hi, my name is Sterling Moody. I'm the owner of Neighbors Market, 1005 North 15th Street, on the Echo Jazz building across from Emerson Park Metrolink stop. We have fresh barbecue Friday and Saturdays. We have Sunday through Saturday, open from 7 to 7. Look forward to seeing you in the store.
When you visit Big Mama's in East St. Louis, Illinois, located at 5900 St. Clair Avenue, you will need a fork and a bib. Big Mama's is known for their barbecue, cakes, excellent service, and giving back to the community. Call in, eat in, drive through, carry out, order for your office. You can call Big Mama's at 618-398-8950 or visit 5900 St. Clair Avenue in East St. Louis, Illinois. I'm sitting here with Sidney Kaufman, and today we're going to talk about East St. Louis School District 189 and its great accomplishments. Also, a little bit later in the broadcast, you'll hear from Ann Wooten-Taylor, who is the founder of Eating as an Act of Worship. You want to stay with us and don't turn off after this first half. We're welcoming Sidney Kaufman. Sidney, it is so great seeing you.
I'm happy to be with you today, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
so
invitation.
Much. You know what? The building looks great. You look great, and it's just great to be back with you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you, Stephanie. Always.
Let's start right off at the top. Mm-hmm. We have full accreditation.
We do. We are so excited.
We want to talk about that first. Go ahead.
Correct. So the East St. Louis School District, all 10 of our main schools are fully accredited, so preschool through grade 12. And this was done by Advance Ed. They just recently changed their name, but Advance Ed back in June gave us the word that we are fully accredited through the year 2024. So we're very proud of that accomplishment. It has been a process that involved many of our teachers, our schools and administrative staff, as well as, of course, the students and their hard work, and parents and community stakeholders as well that participated with that process.
How wonderful.
And what we're really excited about with it, overall, it really just shows some of the work and the progress that's been occurring over many years here within the school district. And the accreditation team is actually an independent, internationally recognized team. And they came in and did, again, these assessments with us. They spent multiple days with us. They were very impressed. They gave us something called their Index of Educational Quality. And so this is a rating score, 0 being the lowest, 400 being the highest. And the average score for all of the groups that they have evaluated over the last 5 years, again, internationally, the average score on a scale of up to 400 has been 278 to 283.
That's the average.
That's the average.
Okay.
East St. Louis School District 189 broke that average. We were at 312.9, so almost 313. Oh my. So we're very proud of the fact that we were way above average. And we're continuing to make growth and improvements. We have some strategies that they've recommended that we continue to do. So we're, again, very focused on continuous improvement. And that's been a process for each one of our schools as well as the district overall. But that accreditation really means that we've been putting in place the systems that are really there to support children and youth in being highly successful with their academic pursuits.
That is absolutely marvelous.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that I know that the school district uses as a motto is excellence.
Yes.
And that's another example of the excellence
Absolutely.
that's being displayed in our school district. We are champions all over, and we always talk
Absolutely.
about the sports, but we can talk about a myriad of things that are occurring within the district.
Yes, so thank you for bringing that up. Of course, our football team, we're always proud of them and have great expectations as they continue their season. The volleyball team from the high school, girls volleyball, did really well. But many may not know about some of those other successes that have been happening. So just last week, actually, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago, we had students from our career and technical education program, our culinary arts team. They performed at the Platinum Chef competition put on regionally with a number of other area high schools, and we came out on top. We brought home the #1 trophy. Isaiah Haynes, who you may actually know, he's a junior currently at our high school, and he is a superstar. He walked away with the MVP of the entire competition, in addition to the MVP for our culinary team from the school district. So just always proud of many of the accomplishments that our kids are doing and our youth. We also have some teachers that have been really getting in a lot of awards. So I'd love to highlight a few of them.
Do.
We have actually 6 teachers that, based on their classes from last year, so the groups of students that they were in charge of from last year, 6 of those teachers beat the state average on the IAR assessment, which is the state assessment. It's called the Illinois Assessment of Readiness. So 6 of our teachers beat that state average. Dwayne McGowan, who's from our construction trades program with the career and technical education program at the high school, he won the St. Louis American Award in Excellence this year, so we're very proud of him.
Yes.
Our very own superintendent, Arthur Culver, was recognized recently by the NAACP for an education award. And the state of Illinois, so Illinois State Board of Education, they have an annual set of awards that they call Those Who Excel. And we are very proud that this year we received the highest. They do a few different ranges of awards, and we received the highest team category. And it's for our team focused on the educator residency program, so our teacher residency program. So it was really wonderful that they got to celebrate that accomplishment. They're really making sure through that program that we're creating high quality educators that we can fill in for new vacancies from year to year. So 12 residents were trained last year, and we have 15 in training this year. So it's really tremendous opportunity for training them to be really adequate, and I'm sorry, not adequate, but wonderful for our classrooms, performing at a high level.
You know, quite often we hear so many different stories about the city of East St. Louis, and these are the kinds of things that people need to know to help change the narrative in our community. Let me ask you this, well, let me say this before I go further. When I was in school, we were the #1 chess team in the country. So we're champions all the way around. Quite frequently, we hear various kinds of stories about our city. You know, some of them are not so pleasant, and we understand that. And there have been some tragic things to occur. How are the parents helping within the school district to motivate their children to continue?
Sure. Well, we have been really focused on improving social emotional supports for all of our students, as well as for parents and families. So one of the things that has been rolled out this year, because there have been a lot of tragedies within the community, we're even launching a grief support group. And this is available for community members, parents, and others who may have experienced a loss or are grieving in some way. I think we're to this point now as a society as a whole of recognizing how much the social and emotional really affects what we can do on a daily basis, you know, in terms of excelling in a classroom if you're a student, or excelling in the workplace if you're an adult, an employee. The social emotional matters, and making sure that we're being attentive to everyone's needs.
I think that is an excellent point, and we need to take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that.
Sure.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Smiles at East St. Louis School District 189. We'll be right back. There's a segment on Smiles TV called What's on Your Mind with Dr. Dr. Desiree Holmes, and we deal with mental health issues, especially in the African American community, and we try to help dispel some of those myths because for whatever reason in our community, people just don't want or think they need assistance. So we talked a little bit about how the parents are helping and how there's the grieving support system within the district. What other things do you think would help or are helping with some of the trauma that might exist among the kids?
Sure, thank you for asking that question. So we've been taking a multiple prong approach in really focusing on trauma-informed schools and building up a trauma-informed community. So the first step has really been to focus on our staff. So making sure that each one of our staff, whether you're maintenance or custodial staff, or whether you're the teacher in the classroom or an administrator, that you have a foundational knowledge of what it means to be facing trauma and just having a basic understanding of that. So we can all be talking the same language. And this actual training has been offered to community groups as well through some of our community partners. So community members, parents, and other groups can also be trained with this.
Okay.
And so that's one of the steps we've been taking, is really a focus on staff, professional development and training. Another step is, of course, directly with our students. And so we have a social emotional curriculum called Ripple Effects, and it's something that students can participate in on their own time.
Okay.
They just log in, and so it really becomes nuanced, so they get to drive what area they choose to focus on, so it can really be attentive to their individual needs. The other thing that we're really focusing on throughout the school district is really helping students understand how to self-regulate. And that's something that adults still struggle with too. But just that self-regulation and those positive reinforcements, like if you're angry, that's a real, true emotion, but how do we express that?
That's
and how
good.
do we self-regulate in those moments? Because we can't approach another person when we're in the Hulk mode, like we use that visualization. Let's get back into our normal self to have those conversations and work out whatever struggles we might have.
That's such good information. I also substitute teach within the district, so I get an opportunity to engage with from first grade through seniors in high school. But I've lately been at the middle school, and some of the children have displayed anger. Yeah. And I tell them, I have anger issues too, but just like I have to learn to control them, you do too. And I've noticed when you talk with them and you give them some strategies, and maybe they're employing some of the strategies that they've learned already, but there's a difference. And when you start at that age, I think that's when you can really impact.
And younger even too.
Yeah. And that's,
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
Something else I've noticed is the welcoming environment within the schools. We
are really trying to improve and make sure that it is a welcoming environment for all of our students and families and parents, because we want to make sure it's a safe place, that kids feel like that's their home. And so anywhere in the environment, it helps to kind of create that. We really focus on that. So we've got comfort corners in each of one of our schools, where again, it can be a location where students can go to calm down if they need to. We also have, just as you walk through the hallways, it's just much more positive atmosphere, really putting the expectations forward, helping encourage students to take ownership of their own educational journey.
Oh, how excellent is that? Another question, I know you might be a little pressed for time, but have you seen the narrative change, or have you seen the narrative of our community change, especially within the district?
Sure. I think, unfortunately, sometimes we ourselves keep hold of negative narratives, and we need to take the time to really flip that and question it and say, are we reflecting about a different moment in time as opposed to now? And so I just want to say that there's a lot of positive activity occurring within our school district. There's so much to be proud of. And so I encourage every one of your listeners and to really engage and ask some questions of students or teachers to find out what is that positive energy that's happening now. And if you know that positive story, I challenge you to really share that another positive story with somebody else. So that's going to help us change the narrative. We all rise up together when we're speaking those positive messages. We know we still have work to do, so we don't claim to be perfect, but our academic achievement really is increasing, and each year it's increasing. So we're so proud of student growth, meaning each time that a student is persevering, they're growing. And each, how you grow each year might look different than how I grow each year on reading or math. But we want to challenge you to your fullest potential each year, as well as me. And so that's one focus that we have with academics, is the individual personal growth, student growth. And then, of course, the other metric is really looking at academic attainment. So how people are doing on those standard tests. And we've been increasing in both of those categories, the growth as well as the attainment. So we're very proud of our students and the hard work that they're doing, as well as our teachers and administrators for that. I would also just encourage your audience to find a high school student in particular, or maybe even a senior, and ask them about their Plan E.
Okay.
Do you know about Plan E?
I don't know about Plan E. What is the Plan E?
So Plan E is you should be focused on enrollment, so higher education after you graduate from high school, or employment, finding that job, or enlistment. So maybe your path is really to go into the military or some armed services branch, but those are really the 3 E's that we like to talk about at the high school.
Well, another question, Sidney, because I know you, and I know you're passionate about what you do. Why are you here, and what do you want to personally see happen among our students and staff?
Sure. I've been here for 7 years with the school district, and I just want to say that it has been an authentic personal joy for me to be here. There's so much transformation, so much wonderful activities happening here, and the youth are so vibrant, the community is so vibrant. So it's just been a privilege for me to be in service here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I fully believe that we all rise together, and so to see the potential coming to fruition for some of these youth is just, it's so tremendous. So I mentioned Isaiah Haynes earlier,
right.
And he is such a joy. He's just a junior, so we've got high hopes and expectations for him. Just to highlight a couple other students that come to mind, Blake Zettler is a senior. I honestly can't remember how many industry recognized certifications he's earned. He keeps racking up more.
Really?
They say that he'll be making $75,000 as soon as he gets his high school diploma and starts a job. From high school, because he has so many welding certifications, and he keeps expanding more. So he's got, I think, at least a dozen right now, and he's working on more throughout his senior year. And then we have so many graduates too. They continue to do well, and we hear some of their stories. So one of our graduates from last year, Diana Edmonds, she was a nursing student, and after she graduated, she launched a blog, a nursing blog called The Dose to Know. Isn't that clever that she came up with that?
Yes, it is.
And it's really a testament to helping encourage other African American youth to really pursue a career in the health professions.
Great.
And so she's documenting her path and some of the paths of her colleagues and her mentors. So, again, we just have so much wonderful stories to tell here in East St. Louis, so I'm really grateful that you've allowed us to share a few of those.
And we don't have enough time to talk about it all, so we're going to have to do more.
Thank you, yes.
We're planning to do much more with you, and I'm just so grateful that you took time to talk with us, Sidney.
Thank you. Always a pleasure,
much.
Stephanie.
So is there anything else you would like to share before we move on?
The audience really needs to know that we are making so many improvements. We have so much to be proud of, and I really encourage everyone to share those positive stories, because who the school district was 10, 15 years ago is not where we are now. And so there's so much growth happening. We have more where we plan to go, but just a lot of excitement. So share those positive stories, read to a child, and encourage your child to be in school.
Wow. Sidney Kaufman, the Director of Strategic Partnerships, and we have some great things happening and some great people in the East St. Louis School District. Don't go away. There's a clip coming up that's going to give you some more information about what's going on in the district. And during the second half of our show, we have eating as an act of worship. Just some snippets from a young lady who's she's spreading all over the country. This young lady's in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, you name it. Her broadcast is all over, and she's teaming up with Smiles TV. Stay tuned for more Smiles.
We at East St. Louis School District 189 have had a motto over the last 5 years that centers on excellence. Everything we do is rooted in that concept.
We are committed to excellence. We're focused on excellence. And here, Excellence is the standard, not the goal.
What makes School District 189 so unique is its students and the community that it serves.
Though East St. Louis has a rich history, it is also a socially depressed community. District 189 has implemented a strategic plan, and one of our goals is to focus on the health and well-being of our students. We know that broken children become broken adults, and we're really trying to intercede and start a new narrative on how we can create positive spaces and feelings and supports for everyone in the community.
We develop them, we love them, we support them, we care for them and nurture them in spite of their challenges.
Our kids are strong, they're resilient, they're intelligent, they work hard. They're just heavily dependent upon education in order to be successful.
When you see our kids' faces, you know that the work you're doing is rewarding.
Some of the resources that we provide are the Running Start program, which is a dual credit, dual enrollment program, advanced placement classes, AVID, advancement via individual determination, and also dual credit classes with our career and technical education program.
By focusing on academic excellence, we help them to think about how well they're doing in all of their classes and what that will look like for them beyond their years here in the district.
In the last 3 years, we've been able to increase the percentages of students meeting national averages by 40% in math and 30% in ELA.
53% of our students have met the national norm. That is huge. When we first started giving that norm reference test, we were in the single digits.
As a parent in District 189, I am proud to see the improvements. That gives me honor just to say that I am an East St. Louis parent.
This school district is so unique because it has a lot of people who are vested in the community that want these children to be successful.
I have worked hard to get where I am, such as East Side Alliance. It's a betterment of the community using the voices of youth power. That's what we're all about, and we've been doing pretty good at it, if I do say so myself.
At the Family and Community Engagement Center, we have created an environment for our parents to assist them as their children are learning and growing.
Without the human resources, there's no way that you can provide the kind of educational experiences that our kids need in order to be successful.
What East St. Louis has to offer is an opportunity to really grow.
We have a very traditional setting with school is our family, our parents are our family, our community is our family. We are really one big extended family, a village, if you will.
We want to make sure that our students are prepared academically for the workforce, for college, and to be successful global citizens.
When in need of residential and commercial construction projects from roofing, siding, flooring, including all interior carpentry, painting, and more, you need a company that is efficient, effective, and professional. A company that will complete the job on time. You need On Time Contracting Incorporated. On Time Contracting provides quality work completed in a timely manner. Oliver McDowell, founder and owner of On Time Contracting, is insured and bonded, and provides an array of services for residential and commercial facilities. Contact On Time Contracting for your many residential or commercial construction, roofing, cleaning, or other needs at 618-567-3591. That's 618-567-3591. On Time Contracting Incorporated. Your project can indeed be completed on time. Smiles TV has been blessed to acquire approval to periodically air segments of the Eating as an Act of Worship broadcasts. Here are snippets of what's to come.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Wooten-Taylor, the CEO of Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries, and this is the Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries Health and Fitness Show. Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries is a nonprofit organization. We teach the biblical principles about the body, dieting, exercising, and maintaining a healthy body for the glory of God. We do that primarily through our 12-week health and fitness course, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about later on in the show. But first, I want to tell you what we've got in store for you today. It's going to be an awesome show. If you walk in the Spirit, you will not obey the lust of the flesh. The obesity epidemic is the perfect illustration of humanity's failure to obey the command in this scripture. The astounding number of overweight people in the United States alone forces us to face the fact that our society gratifies the flesh instead of walking in the Spirit. Consequence.
So in the days of old, you could only really transfer a prescription one time. And so what started happening is you look across all the chains. Walgreens was doing it, Walmart started doing it, whereby you could go to one Walmart and get your prescription at any other Walmart without really having to, quote unquote, break the transfer law because it's within Walmart's system. And so you want to make sure that there's accountability.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today at Eating as an Active Worship Fitness portion. My name is Joseph Bell and I'm going to be your personal fitness trainer. There you go. You can do this with the elbow or you can do it with the hand. And now we're going to show you the modification. She's going to bend at the knee and she's going to put her knees on the ground. Bring that back. She's still engaging her core, her side muscles, her abs, and her glutes all the same.
It's time for Keep It Real Cooking with Ann. We call it our Keep It Real Cooking segment because we want to get you in the habit of eating real healthy foods, meaning vegetables, fruit, that type of thing. And we want to show you ways to do so that are inexpensive and that save you a lot of time here in this first segment. So we're taking you from eating unhealthy fast foods to learning how to make your own healthy meals at home in 20 minutes or less, even if you don't know how to cook. These look a lot like mashed potatoes, don't they? But it's not. It's mashed cauliflower, and it's absolutely delicious.
I told you we had a great broadcast. Our school district 189 in East St. Louis, Illinois, they're doing some dynamic things. We want to thank Sidney Kaufman and Eating as an Act of Worship with Ann Wooten-Taylor. Let's pay attention to her. I'm going to try to do better myself. Don't forget, you can watch Smiles TV now on the On Point Network, the P. Chapman Network, Dynasty Television, St. Louis Television, Charter Cable Channel 984. We're all over the place. Just check out Smiles and thank you. And remember, only what you do for Christ will last. And Jesus is the Lord. The Lord be magnified. Keep smiling.
The Smiles Television Talk Show wants to showcase your business, organization, church, and activities. If you have an interest in being a guest on Smiles Television Talk Show, or if you have any show ideas, contact Stephanie Anthony Miles at smilestv777@gmail.com. You may also call 618-741-3770. Tell your friends to subscribe to the Smiles YouTube channel. Let Smiles TV increase your reach. Remember, you look better with Smiles. IDEX Media does a lot. From IDEX Photography to IDEX Films. We help create forever memories and forever impressions. Imagination, image a world. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.